7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You can't get any more inspiring music than that.
No, that's really cool. Welcome everyone to IFB. I'm Pete, New York Pete, co-host of Interfleet Broadcasting with my best friend Chris, also known as the Tipsy Toaster. I want to thank everybody up front for joining us on our news and pop culture sci-fi entertainment channel. And full disclosure, Chris and we grew up watching 70s and 80s TV, movies, cartoons, and we bring our kind of unique spin to our little corner of the universe here at IFB.
But Pete is older, yes.
I am. I think it's by 7 months, but that's neither here nor there. No, actually, I'm a year older than you are, and I think it's a year. So. Yeah, it's about 18 months, but who's counting? Old. Yeah, I am. But welcome to IFB. We're big fans of Battlestar Galactica, as if you didn't already know. And yeah, we just got back from Awesome Con, Washington, D.C.'s huge convention, 2023.
It was awesome.
Booth there. It was awesome. We had a very, very good time, and we've made sure that we've thanked them profusely for providing us with that opportunity to have that booth, and it was fantastic. We made good use. We met a lot of people. It was really, really good. So welcome everybody to IFB. I know Bran is on, and Rob, and Professor Patton, and Lola, and who am I missing here? Chuck, of course. And who else? Sean Shallow from Battlestar Bulletin Board. Happy Thursday. Hey, how are you? Paul, Commander Kane is with us. And Yo Crunch, what's up? And George Yakumis in the house. Perfect. Who else? I hope I'm not missing anyone. As I see you, I will call it. And Trey. Hey, Trey, what's up, buddy? All right. So I see all of these. Let's do our toast, Chris. Yeah, that's right. I see.
I see Jimmy, Kim. And I see Johnny, and I
Kim.
see...
That's right. Kim is here. Awesome. Oh, the alert. What? Crunch put up the alert. Tip has no mustache. CYLON infiltrator suspected. Excellent. All right. You get kudos, Crunch. Yeah, he does look younger. I know. Trey says you look younger. So yeah, I know. Hi from Berlin, New Hampshire. What's up, David? My man, Mediocre Modeler. Man, he came out of that con with 3 awards, and
which is amazing.
Well deserved, Mediocre Modeler. Yeah, well deserved.
If he didn't come out of that con with awards, then we would have to go down there and talk to some people.
We would have gone down there. But Mediocre Modeler, you've done well, buddy. Well deserved. So if you haven't checked out his videos, please do. Same with Battlestar Bulletin Board. Sean has been putting up some really cool.
I don't see Baz tonight yet. Baz has been busy. He's probably working on the Viper.
Oh yeah. So he probably is. He usually checks in from Australia down under later on in the show. And everybody else, welcome to the show. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll bring you up to speed on what's going on. Meantime, let's do the toast. Let's toast the fans. And we have
Pete, you hold up the beer and I'll read it. Tonight, Superfan Fran has bought us more beer. She's an enabler. We're okay with that, though. So yes, tonight's beer is a little left over from Christmas style time. Yeah, well, anyways, it's Good Gourd. It's an imperial Good Gourd, like good Lord, but Good Gourd Imperial Pumpkin Ale, Cigar City Brewing Company, out of Tampa, Florida. We don't know anybody from Tampa, right? Pete?
No, we do. Isn't Lola? Lola's around from like somewhere, I think. Yeah. Isn't she?
I think one of the main people we've been talking to this last weekend was from Tampa, if you remember correctly.
Diana Durango, that's right.
Yeah. So it says, good gourd, Imperial Pumpkin Ale, a liquid monument to the glory of the pumpkin, the most notable of all gourds. This Imperial Pumpkin Ale is brewed with cinnamon, allspice, cloves, nutmeg, and vanilla to culminate the flavors of a decadent, piquant pumpkin pie. The gourd is good. The gourd is good indeed.
Yes, that's right.
Praise the gourd.
I got a couple of comments. Our very own unofficial fact checker, Rob Baum, is watching. Thank you very much to Rob for tuning in. Chris is always out of his gourd. That's why Marion Jensen won't return his messages.
True.
And
it's that in the court order. But anyways.
That's a joke. George G. Chris looks like Count Ibley now. One.
Oh, wait a minute.
One.
What are you drinking out of tonight?
Oh, hey, Dave. My buddy Dave Francourt. Check this out, buddy. There you
Yay!
go.
CYLON's Rule.
He's drinking out of his. Yep, that's
CYLON's
right.
Rule.
All right.
Mine's a little different. Mine's called Old Stitch. I got this from Williamsburg. It says, I fear the man who drinks water and so remembers this morning what the rest of us said last night.
Oh, Trey says, the gourd is good, the zucchini is evil.
I like it.
1, 2, 3. Boom.
I'm disappointed you didn't spill it on your keyboard yet.
Yeah, no kidding. That's coming.
Oh, you didn't? Ooh.
Oh, it
looks like pumpkin.
It does look like pumpkin. Looks like cream soda to me, but... All right. It smells good,
smells
though.
Good.
Yeah. I know. Hope it tastes as good.
Oh, it shall. So anyways, we always toast to the fans and the creators and everybody out there that's so amazing.
That's right.
Because those people are what fuels a fandom. Those are what people who fuel the fleet. So keep up the good work. We have a creators on tonight. We have, 500 First. We'll talk to them. We've got... we got a lot of people. So anyways, I haven't started drinking yet, so therefore I'm starting to stutter. I need to get my drink on so I stop stuttering.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how the tipsy toaster works.
That's it.
But anyways, as we always say, here's to you. Fans feel the fleet,
baby. All right.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
I like it. Definitely cinnamon, definitely vanilla, definitely allspice.
Syrupy, man.
It tastes like a pumpkin pie. It really, really does.
Yeah, it does.
It tastes exactly like a pumpkin pie, which is scary. I could drink like 6-pack of these and then end up on the floor,
but cheers to you, mediocre modeler. So in the wings in the green room, we have Commander Chris Feehan, Empire City Garrison 501. And we also have filmmaker Joe Carabeo, who also just happens to be the director of the Awesome Con Film Festival, doing it for several years, if not for the beginning. He'll clarify that. And then, of course, we have our own Tiny Bean. So, let's get with the program here, man. Oh, don't forget that we're going to finish up. Well, we'll do part 2 of CYLON Apocalypse.
Boo.
Yay.
And then we have this one's horrible because there's lots of CYLONs getting killed.
No, that's too bad. That can't be helped.
That's horrible. I mean,
can't be helped.
The next one we're going to do is Death of Apollo.
Oh, stop now.
Yeah.
See, drinking strawberry shine here in South Carolina. Kim,
there you go, Kim.
Enjoy. All right. So,
all right. Who do we want first? We've got a full load on here.
Let's bring on Chris Feehan from Empire City Garrison. Death to the CYLONs. That's right, Paul. Thank you. Now you lost your train of thought.
No, I lost that. Well, I guess I don't have that one. Oh, we have to redo that one. Okay, well, we got Mr. Feehan. We're set there, so let me push him over and get started.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Welcome, Chris. Good. How are you?
Outstanding, sir.
Doing well.
Come on, join with me. Jar Jar Binks rules.
Don't get me started on that again, please.
Oh yeah, he's obsessed, Chris. Can't help him.
The
Can't help
best character in all of Star Wars, Jar Jar
him.
Binks.
Yeah. Of course, of course. So, Chris, what's going on?
There's a lot going on in the Star Wars world. It's only been a month since I think we last spoke. And in the past month, there's been all kinds of movement, all kinds of changes. And not all of it is good. So let me get started with what's going on in the television world of Star Wars. As we know, last month, The Mandalorian finished up with its third season. It was very well received, a lot of Mando action. Still no word on season 4, but we found out from Celebration that Dave Filoni is planning to tie in the fourth season of that, the second season of Ahsoka, bring all of that together and flesh that out into a movie that will probably premiere sometime in 2027. So we'll all have to hope that all that formulating and all those pieces all come together in the end and form an incredible universe to fill in the time between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens. And so far, he's been doing a bang-up job with that. So we are looking forward to that. We just have to wait for everything to come together. Some other things that have been airing recently, Star Wars Vision Season 2 came out. There's, I think, 6 episodes of that. It's very Japanese animation style takes on Star Wars, and that's been very well received. There's also Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures, which is really a kiddie show, but hopefully that'll hook the next.
Damn right, you got to indoctrinate those little suckers early.
Got to get them started somehow.
Little taste.
I've already seen a lot of toys tie into that, like kiddie version toys. So they're trying to get the younglings involved as well. So that's always a positive step. The other big news is they did finally come out with a release date for Ahsoka, along with the trailer that was released back for Celebration. It's now officially coming out Wednesday, August 23rd. So we can look forward in just over 2 months to see Ahsoka and see that first season. And it's already been confirmed that they're planning to do a second season. So this will just be the first of probably a 2-season arc that Ahsoka will start on that journey. We did have some unfortunate news. Ray Stevens, who was going to be playing one of the main villains in Ahsoka and had already filmed all of the first season, did pass away very unexpectedly the end of May.
Wow.
At the age of 58. So that was very surprising. He's a character actor who's been kicking around for many years. This was going to be one of, a very breakout role for him and a very prominent role in the Ahsoka series. So there will be a little sadness there when we see his performance and we see his character, knowing that in real life he did pass away. So that was some unfortunate news. Along with him, we have David Tennant, who's going to be reprising his role as the droid Hu Yang from the Clone Wars. Rosario Dawson, of course, Elizabeth Winstead, Lou Bordizzi, and Ivana Sakano are all going to round out the cast for the upcoming Ahsoka series. So everybody's really looking forward to that. That's the next big Star Wars series to premiere. After that, it's a little murky exactly what's going to happen next. We know that Andor Season 2 is filming, and that will be the final season of Andor, leading directly into Rogue One. We know that The Acolyte has just wrapped filming, so we know that that's in post-production, but we've already heard that probably will not debut until sometime mid-2024. So the next thing that we'll probably see in a live-action Star Wars will probably be Jude Law in the Skeleton Crew. Still not much is known about that. There was kind of a sizzle reel that was shown at Celebration. And as we feared, it does look like a very kid-oriented show, very tweeny. I wasn't thrilled about the tone of the few bits that we saw in that kind of sizzle reel. But, I'll watch any Star Wars and give it a shot and see if it surprises me as being something worth watching and sinking my teeth into. But that's probably the next live-action Star Wars we're going to see probably before the end of the year. So that'll probably round out this year, and then we'll start with Acolyte and Andor, and still no word on Mandalorian Season 4. There's been some talk, especially now with the writer's strike, that probably will not debut until 2025. So there may be no Mandalorian series premiering in 2024. We'll have to wait and see how that all shakes out. The writer's strike is impacting all these productions, so much so that on the movie front, it was just announced that they are pushing back all the release dates of the Star Wars movies, which is very unfortunate. Unfortunately, that means the earliest we're going to see a new Star Wars live action movie, which will probably be the Rey New Force Order movie, will not be until May of 2026. It's still on track to start filming in May of 2024, but probably due to the writer's strike and other delays, it's probably not going to debut until that new release date they just released, which is May 2026. Now, they didn't say that that was the movie that was going to be released on that date, but that is probably the one that's furthest along in the development cycle that will probably meet that date. It's been theorized that the second movie that's going to premiere, that they've already announced the date for, which is December 2026, may be the Dave Filoni tie-in movie that ties in Ahsoka Season 2 and Mandalorian Season 4 and unifies that whole universe into one major motion picture. We'll have to wait and see if it's going to be that movie or the other movie that was proposed, which is that first Jedi, Dawn of the Jedi movie that's going to take place 25,000 years before the events of A New Hope. So we have to wait and see how that's going to play out and where that gets in this development cycle. There's also the mystery Taika Waititi movie that nobody still knows what that's going to be about, what era it's going to be in, whether it's going to be a sequel to another movie. Nobody has any idea. We'll have to wait and see if that fades away or if that actually materializes into something. But it's probably so early in its development cycle that it's probably not going to be until 2027 or 2028 for that one. On the book front, there is a new Star Wars High Republic novel, Trials of the Jedi, that just came out last month. And on the game front, Jedi Survivor came out to incredible reviews. People were raving about that game. I'm sure it's probably going to get a third game based on the feedback that everybody's been giving it. And we had a surprise announcement just this month that nobody knew it was that far along, but a game called Star Wars Outlaws will be coming out in 2024. It's kind of a free roam game, kind of like Grand Theft Auto meets Star Wars, where you play kind of a nefarious character going through the galaxy, collecting bounties and doing different odd jobs and heists and things of that nature. It seemed very exciting from the trailer that's now available online. And it seems very far along and is scheduled to come out next year. So we can all look forward to seeing more of a free range game, not as an on the rails game as some of the other games that we've been seeing, that might let you make your own decisions, pick and choose what kind of missions you want to go on. And it's a very exciting time for Star Wars gaming. There's also been another announcement from the developer of a game called Star Wars Eclipse. That game was announced over a year ago, and everybody basically thought it was dead. But the head of the studio just released a word that they are planning to go ahead. It's Quadratic Dream Games. They are planning to go ahead with that game. They are midway through development. It could come out late 2024 or early 2025. So on the game horizon, there are some things on the plate and some things coming up that we can look forward to. As I mentioned last time, it was officially announced that Celebration, Star Wars Celebration, is not going to be in America next year, as a lot of people hoped last year or earlier this year. It was in England. It was in London. Everybody thought it would probably come back to America and either end up being in California or Florida. But unfortunately, for people in the States, it's going to be in Japan. So
Wow.
we can look forward to that being in Japan, and some crazy 501st members are already planning to go there. I myself am not going to make the trip to Japan for it. I'll wait till it comes back to the States and hopefully look forward to that in 2025. That's all we really had on the big news for Star Wars in the 501st arena. We have a lot going on. We have EternalCon coming up at Hofstra University in New York on July 7th and 8th, which is an exciting local convention. It gives the flavor of New York Comic-Con, but in a local venue here at Hofstra. They have some big celebrity guests. They have the 501st is going to be there both days, and they have a lot of cosplay, a lot of comics, a lot of stuff for sale. So definitely check that out if you're in the New York area. And the 501st Empire City Garrison is partnering with the Cerebral Palsy Association to put on our second annual mini-con. It's the Sci-Fi Mini-Con at Levittown Hall on July 22nd. It's a free event that we're putting on with the Cerebral Palsy Association and a number of other costuming groups, including the Rebel Legion, the Saber Guild's Endor Temple, and the Ghostbusters. So it's going to be all these fans coming together to try to put on a show to raise money for the Cerebral Palsy Association. So it's really going to be a fun event. It's all day from 12 to 5 at Levittown Hall, July 22nd. And just some of the guests that we've managed to get for this, I had mentioned to you last time we were reaching out to different folks. We had met Rochelle Davis, who played Sarah in the movie The Crow, and she was very amenable to coming, so she's going to be one of our headlining guests. A local actor, George Papa DiMatteos, who was in Daredevil and in the HBO series The Deuce, and also is producing his own sitcom called Jimmy and Jenny's. He's going to be in attendance. Along with some Star Trek writers, Michael Jan Friedman, and a Star Wars and comic artist, Lula Lucas, is going to be there. We're also going to have a DeLorean on site. We're going to have a Batmobile. We're going to have a magician, thanks to Robin Channing, who's a mentalist and magician who's going to be performing some close-up magic and some onstage magic. It's really something that's really coming together this year, and it's really going to be exciting. And it's just a fun, free event with some activities, paid activities, and some sales to generate funds for the Cerebral Palsy Association. So definitely check it out if you're in the New York area. And come see us later this year at New York Comic-Con. We're planning to be attending New York Comic-Con this year in October at the Jacob Javits Convention Center. There we'll be raising money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and it's always a pleasure to see our fans there. Come do Blast a Trooper, come do some of our raffles, come just take pictures with us. If you have questions about how to join the 501st, conventions and events like that are a great place to come and ask us and speak one-on-one to one of our members and see how you can get involved in your local community. And for anybody outside the New York area, of course, always check out 501st.com to see what's going on in your local area or your part of the world. And for anything in the New York area, check out 501ecg.com for any of our stuff on our calendar of what other charities we're supporting, other conventions that we're doing. If you want to check us out, please check out our website. All the information is there at your disposal to come see us.
Excellent. Thank you, Chris. As usual, Star Wars is just a beast. There's so much going on. So we'll see how that, like you were saying, the writers' strike, see how that impacts things. But
I think it's going to impact everything. I've already been hearing, all different movie productions, other television productions being impacted. I wasn't surprised when Disney suddenly pushed back the release date from December to May, from December of 2025 to May of 2026 for that first Rey movie. I think that it's going to have a ripple effect. The longer it goes on, especially, we'll have to see how it shakes out across the industry. I'd also like to mention that probably next time I see you next month, I'm actually going to California in 2 days to finally check out Galaxy's Edge. So I'll report back on that and what it's like in Disneyland. I've never gotten to go. We had this trip planned back in 2020, and of course it got canceled due to COVID. So now, almost 3 years later, we're finally getting to go to California, see Disneyland, and see the Galaxy's Edge there. So I'll report back on what I find there and what kind of experience I have there.
Oh, looking forward to that for
and how long you wait in line.
Yeah, hopefully not too long. I got a whole strategy worked out. 7:30 in the morning, out the door, right to Rise of the Resistance and the Millennium Falcon ride.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, we're looking forward to that. I definitely want to hear all about that. Chris, as always, thank you very, very much for taking the time out. You're very busy doing all this stuff and the charity work. We are humbled by being associated with you and doing that. We're big on that as well. So, I know that we'll see you for sure at the New York Comic-Con, and we'll be down there filming and and interviewing like we did last time, and supporting. So thank you for doing all that stuff, and thank you for taking the time out. So here's to you, Chris. All the best, and
Thanks,
looking
guys.
forward to hearing about your vacation.
Thank you. See you guys later.
Take care. Thank you, Chris. That's awesome, man. All right. Don't chug. No chugging.
Well, I've got a backup beer.
Oh, you got a backup?
I have a backup beer.
Well, you'll be able to drink more since
Yeah,
your mustache doesn't absorb as because before you had the problem with the mustache, so now you know.
Yeah, now the foam doesn't get in the way, and
Yeah. Hey, Scott, what's up? Thanks
extra
for joining
drink
us.
all together. I don't have to worry about it at all.
Yeah, there's not at all. Don't have to worry about it at all. We have a lot of stuff to go over, and some of it has to do, of course, with our Awesome Con experience this year, and the fact that we had Diana Durango and Jimmy Shirts visited our booth, gave out autographs, and promoted the Stranded Warrior. So that was kind of cool. And we interviewed a bunch of authors and filmmakers, and it was just, we had the Colonial Ministry of Defense. They were there as well. So the guys, many of them were involved directly in the Stranded Warrior. They came over. So it was fantastic. We had a really, really good time. We saw some fans. Some of the fans came out and they found us. And that was fun, too, to meet some of you face to face.
Cool.
Love Galaxy's Edge. What?
It's cool to have fans.
Well, you know what? It's a community.
We're fans.
So,
we're fans of the fans, and the fans are fans of us. So
that's right. It's right. So every time we get to meet you, last time Rob Baum came out, went out of his way, drove over to the non-sports guard show that we went to, and it was great meeting him in person. And then so we met some other of our followers from the community here at IFB, and so. Chris, it's up to you. I'm not sure, but I did want to say this, that Kim Harms says, love Galaxy's Edge in Disney World. Don't ask me to pilot the Millennium Falcon. I hit everything in sight. I think you're supposed to anyway. Don't worry about that. That's great. It's a lot of fun. So we do have Joe Carabeo waiting for us, and we do have Tiny Bean waiting as well.
Correct.
So the question is...
Don't ask me. I only push the buttons. You tell me which buttons to push.
Right. I think that since we didn't get the Tara, I think we'd like to have you on while we do Joe. So if you don't mind, Joe Carabeo, filmmaker, director of the Awesome Con Film Festival. Joe has been on the show before. However, we're doing a follow-up. He's just releasing a new movie that he's done, and he's a busy guy. He's been doing a lot of stuff. We
accidentally ran into him, so.
We did at New York Comic-Con last year.
It was wild. Let me stop here and change, hey, how you doing?
Yeah, we were going to drop. We just happened to pick a spot at New York Comic-Con in the bustle, and we were going to recharge batteries. I don't know, do something, and it was a quick stop. And then Joe came right up to us. And we started talking, and we connected on, and we talked about wrestling and backyard wrestling and doing all the things he does, and comic books and drawing.
Synergistic integration.
Yes, we did. So let's bring on Joe, man. This is a great opportunity to catch up, and he can tell us.
And there he is.
Joe, what's up, my man?
Hey guys. I'm happy to be back.
Cooking? Yeah,
he's back.
Oh my God, look at that shirt. Awesome Con Film Fest.
That's right. The official limited Awesome Con Short Film Fest T-shirt just debuted last over the weekend at Awesome Con. So all the filmmakers. Man. All the filmmakers got one, and
cool.
it's a little thank you.
No, it's really cool. So you've been busy since we last spoke. I know that you were involved. I believe it was a pilot that you were doing, and you shot it in New Jersey. And then from there, one of the other things was, of course, the film festival that you direct, and then there's this new movie that you did, and it's Kira. Hey, Kira versus everyone, or Kyra?
That's right, Kira versus everyone.
Yeah, and we got a clip, so we're gonna be playing the clip, the trailer that you sent us a link for. So that'll go up. But Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. So where do you want to start? I mean, come on, you're the man.
I'm a big believer in like that the universe tells you where to go, just like how I met you guys in New York.
There you go.
You know what I mean? That's the
Right.
universe bringing positive energy together. It's really cool.
100%. 100%.
I mean, I'd love to say how great the film festival was. I mean, in attendance alone, we had like close to, just by the votes, we had almost 1,000 votes on the Audience Choice Awards. So that's always cool. And I don't know if there's shenanigans happening or what's happening, but that's always cool to see filmmakers getting the word out on their films. And just that's why we make the film festival. That's why AwesomeCon is amazing for having this. No one else really has a legit film festival in their convention, and they have it, and they're giving us this opportunity. And I run it, and I know that it's like this other big madhouse of insanity running a film festival. This is probably the fourth film festival I've ever made in my whole entire life, and I can't believe I'm still doing it.
Wow, I know that. So this year, there were like the 3 days that AwesomeCon was on. It was the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and each day you would split up the the genres. So it was like, I think one day was comedy, one was sci-fi, one was and they're all shorts, but you kind of broke it down. So tell us about that.
That's always the challenge, because when it comes down to it, after all the judging has come through, I'm not part of the judging of the Audience Choice or all the awards. Those are up to another batch of great elite filmmakers and film producers and cinematographers. And what's amazing about this year, I don't know if this actually is a shocker, but all the judges this year in the film festival were all female. And I felt that would be a really cool opportunity just to do something like that. Let's see how that sort of twists and turns. Actually, I just wanted to, because I know so many great filmmakers and great filmmakers and producers that are female. I felt like this might actually be easier for me to just make them all female. But when it comes after that's all said and done, it is up to me to program the film festival and to do the order, do the set lists. And it was quite a challenge this year because there are so many great movies. But I gotta find that rhythm. You can't listen to the same hard rock song over and over again. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, so what's amazing is that this was the 8th year of AwesomeCon Short Film Festival. So at the very first year, it was literally all just trailers. We would just show all trailers of films that people made. And I thought, like, we had such a great turnout. I was like, because we were just testing the waters. I've been doing conventions with Curl Studio for almost since 2007. I think AwesomeCon was it started whatever 10 years ago, probably 2013. So I've been doing that for a while, and I never saw anyone do a film festival. And I started, and I was one of the main producers of an amazing film festival that was a monthly film festival in Richmond, Virginia, called Project Resolution. And that started, I'm going to stake the claim, but that was one of the main forerunners of what brought filmmaking and the filmmaking revolution into Virginia. We became finally a top 10 indie filmmaking community, ranked in Filmmaker magazine. And Project Resolution, the film fest that I helped produce and that I was the host of, we brought that there, and so many people brought their films. It became a hotbed. So when I was doing conventions, and I noticed, like, hey, why are there no, this is the perfect audience. Why are people not trying to show their films in like this, like the real audience? Not that film festivals aren't real, but this is that we don't know who these people are. We don't know who these are fans, so they don't know what they're expecting. And I thought it'd be a great idea to bring that to AwesomeCon. And because I was doing that for several years, I was doing several panels already. I was moderating that. I directed the commercials for the first 3 years of AwesomeCon, and it just felt right that I should pitch having a film festival and seeing what happens. The first year was great. Then I was like, let's see if we can do it all 3 days. Not just one Friday night, but all 3 days, and see what happens. And it was great because the audience came out for it. And what I really realized was this audience really reacted to these movies. They really, really, because I don't know who really goes out, who gets a chance to go to your local film festival. And I think a lot of the people who go to AwesomeCon, they're experiencing a film festival for the very first time. And, you know, that you're used to the celebrities, you're used to the artist alley and used to all of that, but that's a different experience when you get to see, you know, literally these people that you don't know. These guys that from across the world that have submitted these films, from Japan to Australia, from Europe to from Africa to Canada, they've all submitted films to AwesomeCon Short Film Festival, and you'd never get a chance to see these films unless you went to this film festival, because you know you're not going to see a commercial or a trailer or anything like that in your normal movie house. So I thought having this film festival is so perfect to bring that type of audience, the amazing audience, the awesome audience, to cinema. Not just big movies, not just art house, but literally this is almost like the underdogs. Short films don't really get their chance, and I feel proud about still being able to do this 8 years now and still packing the house and still having such a great response every single year. New people have always come up to me. It's like, I didn't even know there was a film festival, and that blows my mind. So it's really cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I appreciate having that time.
So, Joe, besides the fact that you're doing this and you're helping, the fandom, you're helping, the convention itself, and you're adding a really cool element. Like you said, there's not a lot of conventions that actually put on a film festival on your level, right? There's similar things, and back in the day, Creation Convention back in the 80s and early 90s, they would do trailers, right? They would do the sizzle reels for whatever's coming up, whether it was TV or movies, and they would just show them all and then talk a little bit about it. But that's not a film festival, so it's really cool. But I also want to segue into the fact that you yourself, you're a filmmaker, and you've been, been doing, making films for a while. And this is what we opened up with, the fact that this is your latest. And, we have a trailer, so we're going to show it, but, we want to try to talk a little bit as much as we can about it without giving too much away. But let's, if Tipsy Toaster, if you can actually bring up the trailer for it, it'd be kind of cool.
Will do. Stand by.
All right, cool. So so then we'll come back and we'll talk about this, Joe. I'm very interested. I've been following it on social media, so it's here we are. Revenge film, man. That's nice.
I had so one of my fellow filmmakers, Joseph Lee, who was one of the action directors for Marvel. He worked on Shang-Chi and also the Everywhere movie, the Me You Everywhere All at Once. And he watched that trailer. He watched that trailer and he said, "This goes hard." And I think that's the best way to describe it. This goes hard. So filmmaker talk. I like it, making a trailer for a movie that you yourself made, that I've made. For me, it's very difficult because we see trailers everywhere on television when you go to the movie theater, and they give away everything. And
yeah.
To me, I can't do that. This is it's not like it's not a feature film. So it's still short, not a short, but it's a good chunk. But there's only so much footage, and I don't want to give away so much footage. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So one of the things that really the inspiration. So let me break you down what Kara vs. Everywhere. I can tell you without telling the story. I can give you the inspirations for when I wrote this story. So, Old Boy is an inspiration.
Oh yeah, excellent, love it.
Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is an inspiration. Okay. And V for Vendetta are three key inspirations for the tone and for the life of this movie. So that's. Just like anything, like we were talking about pro wrestling before in the last time, and we were saying when you make a character, you grab three of the other wrestlers, and that's the vibe you get. But yeah, definitely the Old Boy, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, V for Vendetta. How that all makes sense, you guys are gonna have to watch. But those movies I love a lot, and that's really cool. It is literally a cyberpunk revenge movie. And what's incredible about it, too, this is the first film of mine that I did post-pandemic. Remember that? Remember the pandemic? So I felt like... Sure. So I felt like, I didn't want to play nice anymore. Does that make sense?
Of course.
Like, before all that, the films I made, they were cool, but I felt like they didn't get as hard. And I felt like, all right, if I'm going to come out of this pandemic, I'm gonna go out swinging hard. So that's the way to best describe it.
Joe, now Old Boy, the classic one, the original, is one of my favorites when it comes to that. Really? The remake, I'm not too happy with. I didn't enjoy it as much. I didn't think it was as good. I thought, but the classic one, man, that was great. Absolutely. Yeah, man, I was like, oh, this encapsulates everything that, you'd want in that story. The narrative is great once it starts, divulging what happened. And the other one, I don't know, it didn't do it for me. But, I mean, and V for Vendetta, of course, and just, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, right? I mean, that's crazy. Yeah. So if these are inspirations...
I was looking at a lot of nothing against the movie of V for Vendetta, but I'm talking about Alan Moore V for Vendetta.
Yeah.
There's something about that, like the ideology of it, because there's that with a revenge film. There's also there's a mystery. Revenge films have mysteries because we're trying to find out why. That's what it is. Yeah. Why? And we can't tell you why. That's the story, man. What I mean?
And you'll get it.
Yeah, and I love that because when I make movies, the reveal and mystery is every one of my films always has that reveal and that sort of mystery of that, and I just found that revenge movies, that's built right into it. I mean, The Count of Monte Cristo is one of the greatest greatest revenge movies. I love that, and of course, like V for Vendetta is an extension off of that, and then of course if we're taking it even to a modern day. The more contemporary one would, I guess, be Kill Bill. Would be another revenge film.
Oh yeah,
from that.
Oh, absolutely.
Oof. And
see, I thought Old Boy's great, but when Kill Bill, when I saw the yellow, I was like, is that a reference? That's what I thought right away. That's what came to mind when I saw your poster.
Yep. Well, I guess we can also in the same say is that a reference to what's that Bruce Lee movie? Right?
Enter the Dragon.
Absolutely, yes.
I mean,
very cool.
I'm not shy. I'm very not shy about tipping my hat to the people that have inspired me, because I can't pull I love Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin's great, but I'm gonna go ahead and say who my inspirations are, or if I borrowed from something, because at the same time, that's in a way giving back and making sure people see those movies where you came from. But no, that's actually not inspired by Kill Bill. It's really funny because I found the color is actually a color choice in the movie itself, like because where the location was where we filmed. We filmed basically. We spent 3 days in a really cold bottom level of a car garage, and and the lights that came off of that after a time started feeling that gritty yellow, and I was like, that's the world we live in. So that's where that gold, that's where that sort of like amber, that's where that comes from. And so at the same time, there's a lot of I don't know. That's if people see what they want. It's still such a cool combination because let's be honest too. Like when I see yellow black, people are gonna see like, you know, because I went to VCU, like in University of now I forgot my college, VCU College, Virginia Commonwealth University. And do you know what Virginia Commonwealth University's colors are? It's black and gold.
Right there in the there you go. Right there. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. That's so cool. So Joe, tell us how
it's such an intimidating color too.
Oh yeah, it is absolutely, especially when
eye-catching.
When you put it together. Very eye-catching. Joe, so it's a short then, right?
It's a short. Yes,
is a short.
It is. Okay. We described it as, in comic book terms, it is issue 0.
There you go.
Very cool.
I'll tip my hat to Mr. Troy Allen, who said that on set, because the whole world is painted there. You know, the whole thing, all the characters, the tone we're getting, everything like that, it's there. It's just the only difference is we want to see more. When you're done watching this, you want to see more. And just like comics, issue 0, this is the launching point. You got everything you need, but if you want us to keep going, we're going to keep going.
So where do we do where are the screenings? Where do we get to see it?
Well, we did one screening, an exclusive surprise screening at the Awesome Con Short Film Festival.
Whoa.
And it played really awesome. I'm not to be cliche, but it did play amazing. So I'm pretty happy because I'm not gonna lie, Awesome Con, that audience is also pretty tough too.
Oh yeah.
That's a real audience right there. So the fact that they enjoyed all the beats, they enjoyed the violence that I was finally able to bring to movies that I really enjoy. It's so crazy because when I was talking to my cinematographer while we were in pre-production for this in December, I was telling him, dude, I finally get to be violent in a cinematic way.
So, of course. But what about in New York City? I mean, you know, it's the hub for, you know, East Coast filming. Are you going to do any premieres in New York?
Well, what's going to happen? All right, so we have a screening that's happening this Sunday, or the June 25th at the Alamo Drafthouse, which is another amazing theater that supports indie filmmaking like crazy. So I'm thankful for the Alamo Drafthouse.
Beer in a movie. That's always good.
Yes. And also amazing food and cookies and stuff like that you get to sit there and enjoy all that. I first heard of the Alamo Drafthouse in I think from Robert Rodriguez in Austin, Texas. We was talking about we have the Alamo Drafthouse, and they would always support indie filmmaking. So I felt like that was one of the places I would like to give a thank you to everyone who worked on this. And then after that, we're gonna go heavy. I'm gonna show it in as many places as I possibly can, because really the reality is, I do want to make this into a true feature, into a series. And one of the things that's like really important for me is to own my own characters, to own this IP. And I love this character. I've already had, like, I can bring it over here. One of the great artists in comic books today, Kenneth Rockford, he even did a commission of the character that you saw of Kira.
Ooh.
And when I look at Kenneth Rockford's artwork, if you guys have ever seen that, he's drawn for Superman, for Batman, Teen Titans. He's drawn for every heavy Spider-Man, everything. I see his artwork and I'm like, he fits the tone of this character. So think about that. We have this character. We can make comics. We have every level of this. So I would like to. Main goal is always to make this into a feature film, and I think it's gonna be a great feature film when it happens. I already have the whole story planned out. I can tell you all the beats, but I'm not gonna tell you anything. But it's a lot of stuff that I really enjoy watching, and it's gonna be a hell of a ride. So this is just the beginning.
We want to be there with you, Joe. We want to support. I mean, you have a lot of help. You've done a lot of work. This is not like it's your beginning. It's not your first rodeo, but we're lucky enough to have a venue at our disposal in Astoria, New York. So if
really?
we can help you with that, yes. So
Let's
if we
do
can
that,
help
then.
you, all right. Well, we'll coordinate because IFB is there to help out. So let's do this. Let's make it happen.
Maybe we can do an IFB film. Let's do an IFB Film Fest.
Yes,
that's
we can.
Something we've always been talking about.
Yeah, we've been working on it. The director of the venue is very much open to doing this, and so let's talk about this. We can make this happen. I think it'll be really cool, especially if we could do a launch using your project. There's a couple of other projects that are actually in the same stage as yours in different genres. So I think we can make this happen, Joe. I think that, speaking for myself, and I know Chris is on board, that we should do this. But yeah, I mean,
in my experience, there's no reason why we can't make this happen.
There you go.
Done deal. Well, so you heard it first, IFB. So we're doing it. It's happening. I went ahead and I just selected a few of your projects that you did, Joe, and we kind of put them together here, just as a way to show that visualization of some of the things that you've done, and not to mention your other works, your other comic books, right? This is Black Magic Tales. This is cool stuff, man.
The comic book that I write, and the amazing cartoonist Karen Bolevsky, she designs and draws everything there. She used to be the cartoonist for the White House, so she does great work.
Well, then you've got to be funny if you're going to be the cartoonist for the White House.
It's a tough job. It's a tough job.
Yeah, no kidding. You
wouldn't see. That's even tougher. That's a tougher audience to make laugh. You know what I mean? So many critics out there.
Oh, of course, all over. Yeah, so your stuff is just incredible. Yeah, man. So
that's another thing. That's one thing I'm also doing Sunday. We're calling it the Astray. Awesome. We're calling it the Astray Film Showcase because it's going to be headlined by Kira versus everyone. But before that, we're also showing sort of like the greatest hits or the fan favorites of my short films.
Very cool. All right. Well, this is really cool, man. I picked that out on purpose. I was like, man, that's got character. There he is. There's Joe, man. I love it. I love it.
So
man.
that is
cool.
part of my direct to ink series. Actually, I do an ink drawing of myself every one of my birthdays. So that is that year of that. And if people don't know what my direct to ink books are, I stopped drawing for 15 years, and I wanted to get back in the most difficult way possible. And so I started just using a brush pen, and that's it. And no erasing, no pencil, and no going back. And this is one of me.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Well, so Joe, congratulations on, the release of the beginning of bigger and greater things. We're glad that we're going to hopefully be a part of this. We want to support. And
I mean, it's official now. We got to make this festival.
Oh,
yeah. Make this
it's happening.
We can do it.
All right, done deal. We can do it.
So
and we have the capability of broadcasting it as well.
Yeah.
So tell me about this theater, though. Tell me about this theater. Is it sort of like how Kevin Smith has his own theater too, like in New Jersey?
I don't know what his looks like, but the one that we have is, I believe, 175 seat. It's a community theater that
stage,
has a full stage on it, and it has a reception area underneath, and it has the dressing rooms, and it has a conference room, and
lighting, all that stuff.
Yeah, lighting, all that stuff. Green screens available. So we actually shot our Stranded Warrior, our our fan film, at the facility, and the director Alexi, he's a good friend of ours, and a partner in our streaming services. So he runs the whole building, and we had been in conversation about doing a local film festival. So he had an idea about doing it. We of course wanted to do our own, and so we were going to collaborate and kind of bring something together. And so I think this is the perfect opportunity.
And now we get with you and your experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. These are such fun events to have. People should go out to them. These are great things. I think. Just really what you need to do is just decide on a date that no convention is happening on.
Pull
Exactly.
the pin on that grenade and throw it.
Yeah, and throw it, and we'll do it. All right, Joe.
If there's no convention there, I'm there.
All right, cool. So let's we'll work out all the details. So IFB, you're going to be involved. All of you out there that are watching, we're going to be putting together a film festival with our very own Joe Carabeo and IFB. So stay tuned. You guys, of course, are in the inn, so to speak. So hopefully those of you that are going to be in the New York City area, in Queens and New York, you're going to get all the details first, and hopefully we'll get to see you and come on out. We'll definitely going to have some fun with this.
Lola likes your enthusiasm.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Lola, we need to get you closer, man. Wish you weren't in Florida, but either way, I know you're with us in spirit. But yeah, so Joe, we're gonna make it happen. So offline, we'll
keep in touch.
Work out all the logistics. Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, people will come to Florida to go to your film festival.
It's Queens. Come on,
it's Queens.
It's a New York weekend.
Yeah, man.
You fly into New York. It's a cheap flight. Come on.
Yeah, we'll make it happen. All right, so. With that said, Joe, let's coordinate this. We'll make it. We'll pick the date, and it's a deal.
Sounds great.
Look at that,
cool, man.
We can make things happen just by talking to people.
That's the way it's done, man. That's the way it's done. That's the way.
It's so crazy. We just meet at New York Comic Con, and then all of a sudden, less than a year later, we're deciding to make a film festival
in New York.
Right. In New York. That's the magic, baby. That's
I'm sorry. I got to say it like Pete. In New York.
Oh, easy. Cultural appropriation.
Hey, I'm gonna appropriate that culture all day long.
Right. Let's jump the gun. If you were to have a host for this film festival, like a celebrity host, who would you guys want to have?
A celebrity? Oh, it'd have to be
living or dead.
I mean, it has to be.
it's one of those questions. Actual reality question.
Yeah, reality. Oh man, Keanu, man, come on.
Keanu Reeves?
Keanu?
Yeah.
That would be awesome to get Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. Imagine? Yeah. Oh, that's who that just kind of popped in my head. I was like, holy mackerel, we're talking about.
I mean, but now that we put it out in the universe, it might happen.
You never know.
Why not? Yeah. Oh yeah.
I would have picked Marion Jensen, but.
Okay. All right.
Joe's over there like,
people, right?
Who's Marion Jensen?
Yeah, you got to do some homework. Do some homework, Joe. Yeah. Battlestar Galactica. That's all. Well, yeah.
Athena.
Yes, Athena. Oh, let's work on this, man. I think this would be kind of cool. So it depends. I'll give you another one. Like a lot of us play, video games, and Resident Evil 4, the remake, is just off the charts, man. It's really, really good. So I would say that if we could get someone from one of those type of video games that has a presence, that'd be kind of cool.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
See, now the ideas are bubbling. It's gonna happen.
Oh man! All right, Joe. Let's do this. Let's coordinate. We'll get in touch, and we'll send you some pictures and coordinates and. All the fun stuff, the logistics, you'll see it for yourself. And if you're in town, let me know if you're around, and I'll have you come down and take a look at it.
Excellent.
All right.
Outstanding.
Joe, as always, thank you for taking the time out. It's a pleasure. And we'll be seeing you soon before New York Comic Con. But here's to you and your project. all the best. And
I appreciate
that's
you
it.
guys.
Keep fueling
You
the
guys,
fleet,
you guys
man.
are you guys are awesome. You
Keep
guys are
fueling
amazing.
the fleet.
Yeah, you saw you, Joe. This is to you. Bottoms up, guys.
Oh, bottoms up. Oh, hang on.
Yeah, go for another one. Yeah. Well, yeah, another one. Chug it.
Take care. I could. You
No,
don't be
don't.
burping afterwards, though.
All right, Joe. Take it easy, man. We're gonna
See you
work
guys
it
later.
out. All right, thank you. So just like that, right?
at that.
I mean, that's what creativity takes, and hopefully we can fill a little bit of the gap.
Put a couple of fans together, and look what
happens.
what can happen. There we go.
That's correct.
Look what can happen. I keep looking.
That's right.
Looking what's happening. Yeah, there we go.
That's
but anyways,
even better. Well,
I need more beer, evidently.
You need a lot more beer, but very cool.
I'm all out of rum, so it's gonna have to be beer tonight. So
yeah, it'd have to be beer. We talked about, look, the journey. It's a journey, guys. Making films, writing books. I hope you guys have watched some of our interviews from AwesomeCon. Some of the authors,
some of the fans
put up.
Yeah,
kind of like
created movies. You can see the passion in some of these people. I mean, even Joe, you can see passion. You see, and then that's something you don't see in a lot of actors from the shows. I mean, from the regular shows, there's not the passion. Some of them are just like, yeah, it was a job, but with writers and directors and those people that are behind the scenes and those people who the lighting people and the camera, the cinematography people and everything else, there's a passion there. There's a vision that they see and something they want to put together. And I think that's more powerful than just Hollywood can be. I mean, I think Hollywood's great, but I think there's this underground, this capabilities that's out there that people will fuel their own fandoms. People will fuel their own movies. I think it's so important.
So, two things, Chris, that you said, right? So you just reminded me two things I think are important to bring up. One is the fact that our neighbors, the booth next to us, were X-Files fans that put together a retrospective on their fandom, and they just blew that up, and good for them. And the interview is up. You guys should see that. And the other thing is we met an author that was a fan fiction writer,
right? That
became a published author. So that I believe that interview is lined up. That'll be released soon. We met her at AwesomeCon as well, and it was phenomenal. Yeah, she was. We sent her over, and she spoke to the X-Files crew that were there.
That's already up. That's
both of them. So you put both of them up.
Andrea Rose Washington
is the first one, and then we had her. Yeah, and then we had her friend that she works with. She was
that one's not up yet.
One that, that one's coming up, and she was a fan.
That's my work this weekend.
Yep, fan fiction writer that became a published author with several books. Mm-hmm. Cool stuff. And 10
or 15 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. And she was very proud of the fact that she was a fan fiction writer. And we thought that was kind of cool because, a lot of us love reading fan fiction. Many of you guys write.
Andrea was the one that wrote X-Files fan fiction. That's why we sent her over to the X-Files booth.
No, that's not. Andrea Washington's not. She's not it.
Okay.
Cerise is the one that actually does the X-Files stuff. Yeah. So check it out. So we have the one of the two interviews that are directly related to authors, and Andrea's really good. She does a podcast on Star Trek, Lower Decks, and she's really, really good. She has a presence when we interviewed her, and she's outspoken, and Cerise as well. So that's important as well. So you guys, stay tuned. We have more interviews that'll be going up. And now we have another project besides the fact that we're doing the Stranded Warrior, and we're working on it. We are at the halfway mark, labeling and selecting all of the clips.
And that's been so much fun to watch some of these videos. It's like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's some really good stuff. Really good stuff. So that's in the works, guys. As soon as we finish all the labeling,
we only have
which means we've taken all the best.
3 more scenes. I think about 3 more big
I think
scenes.
It's 4.
Yeah,
Yeah,
3
3 big, and then the rest are just very, very small.
tiny ones. Yeah.
So that'll go real quick. So that
Maybe
that's
we can get that
going.
done this weekend if you're not busy.
CGI team, Chuck.
I wish I could start
Davenport, Chris
some of
Marshall,
the stuff
and
they done.
Ken Thompson.
It's like, oh.
Yeah, they're some just phenomenal guys. I know Chuck was on earlier. I think he's still with us. Thank you very much for all the work you guys are doing. It looks so cool, guys. It makes all the difference, right? You know, the CG, because we incorporated these scenes into the live action. So it's going to be awesome. You'll see. All right. So without further ado, we kept Tiny Bean.
Tara waiting.
Bean, thank you so much for waiting. But you saw how that played out. I mean, it's just the magic happened there.
That was fantastic, guys.
Yeah.
And she will be down to New York, I'm sure.
Oh,
down.
I'll be there.
We're
Oh
gonna
my
go down.
gosh.
Come on
Joe's
down.
movie looks fantastic too. I can't wait to see that. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey Mike, what's up, man? Between IFB and the Stranded Warrior, Chris must have editing nightmares at this point. Yes, absolutely. Man, the soundtracks. You know what? We didn't even get to the soundtracks yet. We have someone, Bill Galatis, who's actually going to do the actual editing. Right now, we're Chris does the editing for IFB. Yeah, and the other stuff we're actually just labeling the scenes,
labeling and matching,
and the shots and matching. And then I think the audio, we're just going to have Bill Galatis. He's going to be doing that. So.
I've got to go through the audio and label it all. So.
Oh boy! All right, so
Sounds
we'll
exciting.
be working on that. So that's a part 2.
That's a weekend project. So.
Yeah,
I am
Tara
home
Paul
all weekend,
hello,
and that's what I'll be doing.
Hello. Yeah. Thank you for that, Chris. But Tara, you put together an eclectic selection of.
I can't even spell neglectic.
Yeah.
Eclectic, yes.
Neglectic.
It's really
I can
cool.
spell neglectic.
No, I don't think you're
neglected.
Yeah, maybe.
Not the same. Not the same.
Oh, Karen says hello. Hey, Karen, thank you for joining us.
All right.
Yes, I was in the neighborhood, the old neighborhood, not too long ago, and I just kept thinking about you guys. So,
thank you.
Without further ado, let's bring up some of Tara's, not some, but
all I have to say to Tara is Black Mirror.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
I watched the first 2 episodes and I'm like, yes, this is awesome.
We'll just wait till you get to the number 3.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right, bring it up, man. Bring it up. I want to hear all these things. We've had Tiny Bean waiting for such a long time.
Awesome. Boom. All right. Well, hey, hello, IFB. Welcome to Tiny Bean's Corner, where we discuss some new and intriguing stuff for your viewing pleasure in the pop culture entertainment world. We've got lots of fun up-and-coming news this week, so let's start with the rumor mill. Now, what film comes to your mind when you hear the phrase, "What's in the box"? If you guess David Fincher's disturbing 90s classic, Seven, you are correct. Starring Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman on the trail of a serial killer played to perfection by Kevin Spacey, Seven was the stuff of nightmares. Now, Fincher rarely disappoints, with a resume that includes things like Fight Club and Gone Girl and Zodiac, and he is attached to this project. It is projected to be not so much a remake, but more of a reboot / continuation of the theme. And it's going to be on Netflix. So very excited for this one. We'll keep you posted on the details. This is just in the rumor mill right now, but all sources point to yes. So this one will surely be one not to be missed. Next up, things are heating up in the Squid Game world. The 2nd season just dropped a teaser trailer, and they confirmed that it will land in 2024. With 14 Emmy nominations and 6 wins for the first season, what a huge success. There is no reason to believe that the 2nd season won't be as well. And with the writer's strike going on that we were talking about with Chris Feehan a little earlier, this one may drop a lot sooner than a lot of our other American favorites that we follow. So check out the teaser trailer when you can and expect more of these in the coming months. Now, if you are looking for a new epic sci-fi space opera. Boy, do I have a fun one for you. Zack Snyder has been working on a huge project inspired by Akira Kurosawa and Star Wars called Rebel Moon. Projected to hit Netflix December 22nd, they dropped an incredible, almost 3-minute first look trailer that will knock your socks off. This one looks really awesome, guys. The visuals are intense, and with a huge cast that includes like Charlie Hunnam, Anthony Hopkins, Jaimin Hunsu, Sophia Boutella, and Carrie Elways. Now, I am a fan of Zack's work, particularly 300. I loved Army of the Dead. I loved the original Watchmen. So I have really high hopes for this one. And I mean, you had me at epic sci-fi space opera. So there you go. Mark your calendars, guys. December 22nd on Netflix. Now, Netflix is really on a roll for sci-fi these days. And this is the one that I am going all in on. The Hugo Award-winning phenomenon book series, The Three-Body Problem, by China's most beloved sci-fi author Liu Cixin, is coming to the screen. Brought to us by David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, the team that brought us Game of Thrones.
Ooh.
And this looks like off the hook. P.S. This book is next up in my massive list of reading materials to hit. It's been on there for a while, and what's next in the rotation. It's called The Three-Body Problem. And it's a series. You anticipate starting it within the next week, so I can give you a first-hand reader's account. It's a Hugo Award-winning piece. It's got all the great reviews, and we know that this team of showrunners, when we know what they can do when translating source material like this to the screen. So I am betting this will be huge. There are also some really familiar Thrones actors showing up, like Liam Cunningham, Jonathan Pryce, and John Bradley, aka the beloved Samwell Tarly. So please check out the trailer, guys. Trailer really blew me away. It really looks like everything we love about sci-fi, and I will be anxiously awaiting.
Yeah, Chris just bought the audiobook.
Oh, excellent. Okay. Good. We can read it side by side. I love it. Now, on to reviews. Black Mirror Season 6 has finally arrived, and let me tell you, it did not disappoint. I eagerly binged all 5 episodes, and I still want more. I will try to not give away any spoilers. Now, this all comes from the creative mind of the modern-day successor to Rod Serling, Britain's Charlie Brooker. He's the creator and writer. And the first episode is called Joan is Awful. And it hits the ground running, and it does not let up from there.
Oh, it's the AI stuff. It's great.
Yeah, right? Oh, it is this like epic, scathing, and accurate takedown of AI, of streaming culture, taking a square hit on the nose to Netflix. And kudos to Netflix for allowing the parody.
You mean Streamberry?
Streamberry! Oh, so good. So good. So, I mean, it is that episode, it's equal parts hilarious and disturbing. And it features a always fabulous Salma Hayek. So yeah, definitely check that out. Now, each episode is completely different, not unlike The Twilight Zone, and each one will leave you completely reeling. The absolute standout for me is the 3rd episode. It's called Beyond the Sea, and it stars Josh Hartnett and Breaking Bad's Aaron Paul in a role that screams Emmy nomination. He is incredible in an acting role that requires some truly amazing and extreme character choices. This episode is disturbing on many levels, guys, but wisely, they keep much of the violence off camera, which, as we know, often makes it a lot more frightening, but it is an instant sci-fi classic. This one kept me up nights, guys, and it stayed with me for days. It's one of the best episodes of TV I've seen in a long while. And
Wow.
Yeah, please, Chris, when you see that one, please text me and let me know what you think.
I
episode.
thought this one was pretty good.
They're right. The first two are really, really good, and it doesn't let up. They're all good. The last one of the season is called Demon 79, and it is a fantastic homage to the supernatural horror films of the 70s. And it keeps to the aesthetic, and the feel is just right in every detail. My absolute favorite touch, however, Twilight Zone fans, check this out. There is a scene sequence that is straight out of A Pitch for the Angels. You remember that one? It's had a young Murray Hamilton playing the Angel of Death. And there's one sequence in that episode of The Twilight Zone where he pops up around every corner as someone is trying to evade him. Yeah. If you know, you know. And when you watch this episode of Black Mirror, you may laugh out loud when you catch it, just like I did. So, as a huge Twilight Zone fan, it just brings me such great joy to see this niche genre in such good hands. Cannot wait to see what Charlie Rooker comes up with next, and I think Serling would be super proud. Check out all the seasons on Netflix. Not all are for the faint of heart, but if you are game for the ride, this cannot be beat. And before I say goodbye for the night, just wanted to tell you guys something really fun. Now, I live up in the Adirondacks in upstate New York. There's a lot of great, places to go and eat and what have you. There is
places to hide bodies.
Oh, tons. We don't talk about that. This is live. Come on now.
Tons of places to hide bodies. Yeah.
Yes. But guys,
it's the North's version of the Everglades.
Yeah, seriously. But we have a tremendous amount of brew pubs up here. A lot of great breweries. So you guys ever come to visit, I'm going to take you to a place called Big Slide Brewery in Lake Placid. The only reason I am really bringing this up, besides the fact that they have really good beer, and I know you guys like your beer, they put really fun names to stuff on their menus, and they just dropped their summer menu for the season. And one of the appetizers is named, and I quote, Berries, Burrata, and Battlestar Galactica.
Yes. Perfect.
So, yes, you guys have to come, and that is what we're ordering.
Oh, for sure.
Oh and that is all for the corner this week, guys. So back to you, Pete.
Oh my God. Thank you so much, Tiny Bean, for all the fun. And so I want you to know that your card from the Stranded Warrior has made its way now to dozens and dozens of fans, and we're gonna send you up a set being that you were a part of the production, and a couple of extra cards for yourself as well. And yes, thank you so much for
so you can autograph them for yourself.
Yes.
and for family or whatever. But yeah, we just want actually, you know what? I have here's the I forgot that I have the set that we had at the table. So here's our set,
cool.
And that was 0. Of course, it starts with number 1, right? And
it starts with number 0, then it goes number 1.
0, and then 1.
So good. Wow, look, Ma, I am on a card. Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
And there we go.
Oh,
So, yep,
so
that was
great.
it. And yeah, so we have we'll be sending you up a set of cards and a couple of other extras for you. And again, thank you for doing your Tiny Bean broadcast and review. And again, thank you for doing the Stranded Warrior with us. We had a lot of fun with this, and we're moving forward slowly but surely. It's happening, and we have our goal, of course, Tara, is to have the production done by November is the late goal, and the trailer hopefully way sooner than that. And so we're gonna work on slowly making our way up there. And how many cards for Dragon Con? Well, yes, Thank you, Lola, for bringing that up, because we have an extra chase cards that we're adding to these that we have. So we have 11 in this set, and then we're going to add another 4 or 5 that are going to be exclusive to Dragon Con. So for anyone that goes to Dragon Con, you will be getting the original set plus the extra 4, possibly 5 that are going to be included as chase cards. So those are extra. So the base set is 11, including 1 through 10 and 00, and then we're going to add on another 4 or 5 for Dragon Con. So you will get yours set in person, and some of those are autographed. So maybe Tara will work something out so that we can get you some extras that you can autograph in advance for us to give away at Dragon Con.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be great.
Yeah, we're good time there.
Cool. All right. So Tiny
thank
Bean,
you.
thank you very much.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a good night.
You are amazing. Keep fueling the fleet, lady.
Thank you. Yes, here's to you, Tara. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yes. So, Paul, our Commander Kane, he says that there are. Paul, how many days is it? I know you put it up.
Every day he puts it up. He's got a countdown thing.
Yes, it is 69 cycles till Dragon Con. So that's happening, guys. So for those of you that are going, make sure that you come see us. We're going to get together. We're going to have a meetup. We're going to have a photo, right? We're going to do
there's always on Sunday. There's always a photo op for all Battlestar Galactica. So I'm sure there will be. We separate. We do a complete Battlestar Galactica, and then we do a separate one where we do the old school and the new school, and then they split out and do Cylons and everything else. And in the past, we haven't had that many Cylons, and last year we had like 6 Cylons, and this year we'll probably have even more, I think. So Cylons rule.
Yeah, keep dreaming. Okay, another special run of TSW cards for Dragon Con. I'm gonna just post that up right now. Dragon Con. And so for you guys that come to wherever we are.
Maybe even a special Ebly card, depending on how I feel. Maybe a glossy raised version or something.
Yes.
An evil version where you can't touch it without becoming evil.
Evil, yes. So we're going to have some the chase cards. There'll be, I think it's 4, maybe possibly 5 special chase cards to add to the
Dragon
base
Con.
set. So. Only Dragon Con. Can't get them anywhere else. And so we're looking forward to having fun with that. And, so Den of Geeks, this was the Awesome Con magazine. And we were really busy. We were humbled. Again, Awesome Con, thank you for hosting us, having us there. We really, really had a good time, and the booth really worked out well for us.
Mm-hmm.
Friday was a setup day. Chris bust his butt bringing stuff in and taking things back and the breakdown. If not all of it.
What an experience taking it down and getting it back at the house. So.
Getting it back. So thank you, Chris, for doing that, man. It was definitely worth it.
That was fun.
Appreciate it.
There's an experience that I don't want to have again, but I've learned.
Yeah.
It was a learning experience.
It was. However, if we are so gifted again next year, obviously, I think
I think the booth worked out really well. Normally, we run around like chickens with our heads cut off trying to grab people, but the booth worked out really well, really, really well. So.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic. We had so many interviews. Saturday we were swamped, and then Sunday as well. It was
Sunday.
Fantastic.
We went past the time they closed.
Right down to the last minute doing some interviews, and it was fantastic. We had a really good time, and so thank you again to everybody that visited us, and thank you to AwesomeCon for having us and hosting us. We met a lot of people, so stay tuned and watch for Chris will be dropping interviews daily. I think maybe 2 or 3 a day. From AwesomeCon. We got some really good ones. Mr. Hildebrandt, yes, he is the son of, the famous artist, who is chief counsel, and I believe he's CEO of Museum of Science Fiction.
Yeah,
He came down. It was a
cool.
great interview.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Right, Jimmy Shirts, Diana Durango came. It was
we got those up
incredible.
already, so those are good.
Oh yeah.
And then something cosplay.
Justice.
What the cosplay?
Justice.
We have Justice, but what the cosplay we have up? Who did Princess Aurora?
Yes.
Princess Aura. Sorry.
Aura from Flash Gordon.
What a beautiful costume.
We took a picture with Ming. He was cool too.
Ming was cool.
Yeah.
I can't believe we actually. You know, when you go to a lot of these cons, it's like, oh my gosh, there's nobody here that I know other than like Mandalorians. Or they had a ton of Mandalorians. They were marching around with drum beats and everything. So, but
the Mandalorian.
Yeah, but most Star Wars, Star Trek, those people are always there. But other than those, you don't always see any that's, I hate to say it this way, in our age category. But most most of them are Sailor Moon. That's the joke between my daughter and I. Sailor Moon. Look, another Sailor Moon. Dad, that's not Sailor Moon. Looks like it to me. So every anime character to me, I tease my daughter and say it's Sailor Moon. But lots of anime stuff that we're not familiar with, that we need to get probably more familiar with in the near future. I feel out of date.
We met up with some of the drag performers.
Yep. Demanda Martini.
Yes. And unfortunately, was not able to come back for the interview, but so at some point we're going to have her on the show. Right. And it was, it was just fun. It was a lot of fun to be had. It was
the cosplay really contest was amazing. Lots of people who worked really hard on the cosplay stuff, and there's a couple pictures in there.
Yeah, it was. We were tired by the end of, Saturday, but Sunday too.
And then we went to the after party on Saturday.
Yes, we did with Diana Durango. Yep. And it was pretty insane.
Getting there was pretty insane.
Yeah, it was. There was all kinds of crazy going on.
I love Washington D.C. and you walk around, like, where are all these cop cars going?
Hey, Crunch says the IBLI card should be an old school twin-sided card where you see one image and tilt it to see another.
Oh, that'd be cool. I don't think I make those. The hologram cards.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what, guys? Last time I showed you the other copy of this. I got this one. This is the follow-up. This is the part 2. And
I wouldn't imagine why you got that one. I mean, it's got a lot of your favorites on there. Except for the only thing it's not on there is Battlestar.
No, that's in the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. This has got Planet of the Apes, and it's got that's UFO, and then we got Buck Rogers. On the other side, we have Night Stalker and the Hulk. Right? All our stuff, all the classic stuff. That's check this out. You'll like this. You'll appreciate this picture. Here, take a look at that picture. Bam. How about that?
Hawkman.
Hawkman. Yeah. So this came in, and I thought that was cool because it has all the stuff in it. And I dug this up, Chris, just for today, since it's the CYLON Apocalypse. If you guys can see that.
That's interesting. Where's that one from?
On that. Yeah. This
I haven't seen
from
those.
Japan.
This
is a limited run, and I got all of them at one shot. It was not as expensive as I thought.
I think the Viper canopy's missing there, but I love the person inside of it.
Right here. It comes separate. Right there. Boom.
I can't believe the person inside of it's actually painted.
Yeah, he's painted. Look at that. Isn't that cool? So I'll take this out at some point. I'll open it up on air. I just found it again. So we'll do that as an opening, and I'll show you the boxes for them and stuff. And it's a whole set. And Barbara Luna. That's right. Very good. The Hawk. Very cool. Very good. There was Paul and Eric and David all jumped in all over that. So tonight, guys, we're going to do another book two of CYLON Apocalypse. And so I guess that's up next.
Sure.
And the other thing is,
go ahead.
Yeah.
Other thing is what?
Well,
go ahead.
Well, the other thing is that we're going to continue doing the comic book stuff. And both Chris and I just received some of the original artwork from Folly of the Gods. So I don't know how many of you guys have actually read this. This is pretty good, man. I really was surprised with the story.
It's got Count Iblis in it. It's outstanding.
It's got
It's got
it is. It
CYLONs
has
and Count Iblis in it. It's great.
Oh
as
yeah.
long as the CYLONs aren't getting killed like they are tonight.
I know, Chris. You said you were looking for this cover. This cover here.
Yep, I'm looking for that one. Actually, I know where it's at. It's just $35. Do I jump on that grenade or not?
So I don't know, but you should look around, see how much it is elsewhere. But this is one that we're going to cover, and we actually jumped in and picked up some of the original artwork that's floating around out there. There's not much.
There's still
left.
some online on eBay.
Yeah, but that's all there is. There is no more. My contact.
Pretty good prices though.
Yeah, if you guys can
see,
real
pencil drawings.
There's certain pages that I actually was hoping that they had, and he was like, "Nope, this stuff is all gone. All that's left is on eBay." And
I got the Iblis ones.
Yes, I got a Boulder one. So we'll talk about it. Yeah. We'll talk about. We'll use those when we review this.
We gotta do that one. Definitely we have to pull that up and
do this next.
Pull up the.
Yeah.
I want to do Death of Apollo since we got CYLON Apocalypse.
But too cool. Crunch says, so glad.
Lola says, hold it still.
Oh, you want? Okay, here you go. Sorry. Here you go. Folly of the Gods. So you don't have to buy all of the comic books. You can just buy this. It's all in one.
Trade paperback.
Everything. Yeah. Trade paperback. It has everything in here. Plus, it'll show you like the covers. All the exclusive covers are in the back, right? Because these were all front covers.
I have the one on the right.
For the issues.
I don't have the one on the left.
Cool, right?
I've been looking for that one too.
Yeah. So these are really nice. And here, let me pick. This is a good page to. Right. So these are, this graphic novel's printed up in glossy. The issues, the issues are like comic books, but that's a good one, and so we'll cover it. We'll actually go over it, and so that'll
Paul
be.
says the cover puts you right in the Viper.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, here, look.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is, right? It's cool. So, all right, let's move on to the.
All right.
Book 2 of the CYLON Apocalypse.
Stand by. I'll be switching over.
Oh yeah, it is awesome, Dave. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We really appreciate your support and coming in, and we look forward to having you up close at the Dragon Con, the next convention. We're looking forward to seeing and meeting up with you again. I know Paul. We've hung out with Paul, and that's always fun. Oh yeah. And everybody else. I mean, Lola, I think, is coming. Of course, Fran, superfan Fran, came down for Saturday, and we had just a great time. Dave Turnbull came, and we had a great time with Dave Fretz and the guys, and Mike Gaudreau from CMOD, the Colonial Ministry of Defense. They all came to the booth, and we hung out, took pictures. We have that stuff, pictures up. Diana Durango, of course, and Jimmy Shirts. So Chris now is showing you the covers.
I have all of the covers on this one. I have all of the covers. I did find one of the covers online the other day. So for the first ones that I was missing, still don't have the negative yet. That's the only one I'm missing on the first one.
Oh, the negative, yeah.
So I've got all of the covers for number 2, which is so we got this one.
Yeah, wow.
And I zoomed in the camera a little bit today too. So hopefully this helps out. That's a really cool. I love the black. Sexy looking, I don't know if that's Athena.
Okay, calm down. Yeah, see, I didn't realize those are all number 2s.
Yeah, they're all number 2s. So that's number 2.
Yeah.
And then this one's a number 2.
This is a good one.
That's a good one.
Look at that. Chained up. Yeah, man.
That's number 2. And then there is a Virgin cover. Can I say Virgin on the air? Is that allowed? I don't know.
Yes.
The Virgin cover.
That's what that is. Yeah. So it has no barcode. It has no title on it. It's just the art.
Clear.
Yeah.
And then there is the another one, which is horrible.
Blasting right in the head. See ya.
Another
See
horrible
ya. Don't want to be ya.
That's why we need to do Death of Apollo next.
CYLON, goodbye.
And then this one.
Ooh, look at that.
Which is
that Athena?
Yep.
It is. Wow, that's nice.
So, if you remember last week, kind of summarizing last week, they close to a black hole. There is a CYLON planet on the other side of the black hole, and they attacked a base star, destroyed it, but Starbuck and Apollo have brought back some weird goo. It's the best way of describing it, I think. And they're trying to figure out what's going on with the goo and why they're going after each other and things like that. So now we're into part 2. So here we go.
Oh, look at that CYLON on the left.
Yeah.
Oof.
Well, the CYLONs, I love the CYLONs in the last issue. If you didn't get to see that one, they have their backpacks fly like Mandalorians. So
can you push that up a little bit? The actual, there you go. That's better.
So in the last episode, the CYLONs had boarded the Galactica and they're trying to get on. And this is what's going on right now. So this is they're boarding the Galactica, and they've got a red alert, and they're like, hey. They're trying to break into this one place, and of course, Starbuck and Apollo are behind the blast doors here. And I don't know about you, but Apollo looks a lot like 1980 Troy, not Troy.
A little bit.
What was that?
Heather says, "Not fair. They ganged up on the CYLON."
Yeah, no kidding. Well, it's even worse. Wait, it gets even worse. Colonials. Oh my gosh.
Boy.
So they're breaking in, and of course they're like, what are we going to do? So Starbuck and Apollo are behind there and like, hey, let's did you bring your I don't get this stuff. Did you bring your grappling hook? Yeah, I've got my grappling hook. Of course I got my grappling hook. And I've got an explosive device. Of course, that's what they carry on their bodies at all times. But anyways, so the CYLONs are about to break in, and they blow open a hole in the side of the ship and injure some CYLONs and destroy some CYLONs.
Too bad.
It's horrible.
Too bad.
And
Mechanical, man.
And of course, they get sucked out of the ship, and they use their batarangs to. That's the only thing I can think of. It looked like batarangs to me.
I love it.
So the batarangs to keep from being blown too far out the ship, and they have these escape masks on, and they blast more CYLONs, which is horrible. Look at this. Such violence.
Oh, it's so good.
I had friends on that boarding party. Anyways, so they bring themselves in, and it's getting ready to. One of the CYLONs has an explosive device on them, and they oh no, we got to do something, and they kick him out the hole, and he still blows up and damages the ship. At least he went out with a bang.
Yeah.
Da-dum-dum. Hey. So they're still trying to figure out what's going on, and they rescue Starbuck and Apollo because they're running out of air, and of course at the same time they notice that one of the CYLONs survived. So
bad guy.
That's awesome guy. Yeah, he survives.
Oh, look, there's a colonial warrior with a rifle. It's kind of a
yep.
A rifle.
They called them what they call those guys? DCOM team. D-COM team. I'm not sure what that stands for. It didn't really say anything in here. I guess that's their Marine Force or whatever. So they've captured a CYLON. They put him in a horrible cell, and
it's just
course,
a chair, man. Calm down.
No. They've chained him down. They I don't know if they have a Geneva Convention in space, but they should have. So I'm sure they're breaking the rules of the Geneva Convention for that poor CYLON to being tortured like that.
No, it's not. What's the matter with you?
So they're like, oh, what's this? Let's talk to him. And the CYLON can't talk because when he's out of the network, because they've closed him off the network. I think of the Borg kind of thing is kind of what they put here, is like a network piece, and they don't have a connection, so he's shut down automatically. So they're like, oh, what are we gonna do? And they're like, and of course, and if so what do we do if he moves? He's not talking, but what if we do? He moves, and he's like, of course, it's Boomer. We have no problem frying Cylons, Commander. What a dork.
Yes,
Anyways.
thank you. Yes, I agree.
So we switch over to the planet that they are calling what was the name of this planet? Tessida. That's a Cylon mainframe city of Tessida. And of course, I love the pictures here. I mean, check out the Imperious Leader. I mean, that's amazing. Really nice photos.
Can you see
drawings.
what Lucifer calls the Imperious Leader?
Yeah, Lord, is it Barhol? Barcall.
So guess what? Professor Padden says they call the Imperious Leader Lord Barcall in this issue. This is based on a total misunderstanding of a line Lucifer says at the end of Gun on Ice Planet Zero.
What?
You got to finish that thought there, Professor.
Yeah, that's different.
Well, these guys that are writing it are not real fans. I mean, I don't think
probably not. Yeah. So they've come back to the thing and they say, hey, this group of Cylons have destroyed the other group of Cylons to keep that special device or information out of the hands of the Colonials. But they didn't, so, that didn't work. I love this part, so Pete and I get a kick out of this because we actually use it in the movie. So, so we flip back to where they're trying to get Starbuck back, and Apollo back together because they got blown out and they were out of air and everything else. So this is so it's Loveless. It's like Starbuck, can you hear me? And of course, his response is he's coming out of it is Aurora. So we all know who that is.
Whoa!
And Cassie's like, it's Cassiopeia, you bore.
Nah. Also, get this. Professor Padden says the writer thought this debacle was Lord Barcall. So, dumb.
Oh, debacle. I get it.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So,
Dummy.
anyways, Cassie's like nursing him back to health, and of course Apollo's coming back to health, and they discover that black stuff that they brought back with them is a molecule from Glove. It's a biological creature that converts Cylons into humans. Well, not into humans. It converts them into their original lizard-like creators.
No.
So,
that's
that, they don't want that. So, and there's a lot of technobabble in this thing. There's a huge amount of technobabble in here. So I don't know who, it'll turn the Cylons into a biological creature. Impossible. The Cylons rejected their biological origins thousands of yarns ago. And then, of course, Dr. Wilker starts talking things like, all I know is the nanocybrids, billions of them, feed a Cylon energy, then specific wavelons that characterize their machine consciousness. And then the explosions, the triggers, biomechanical response that reorganizes all the available ambient matter into organic living tissue based on the reptilian matrix. Good Lord.
What the heck?
Yeah, so leave it to Dr. Wilker to confuse the snot out of you. So that's what's going on, and they're like, oh, what are we going to, how do we prove this stuff? So what do you think they do?
They run a test.
They run a test on a Cylon. How dare they? It's not a robot.
It's a robot.
That's Carl. I know Carl. Carl was horrible. Yeah, it's horrible they did this to Carl.
It's not named Carl, and it's a robot.
So they're like, what do we do? Oh, we'll just put this on him. And it's like, of course, the robot picks up and says, alert, alert, alert. Do not come any further. Toxic substance detected. Do not. And of course, what do? They splash it on him. How dare these people? Like, don't you have any sense of freaking humanity? They splash it on this thing, and it converts it into this weird lizard-like thingy-mabobber, and they're like, oh my God, shoot it, shoot it. So not only did they splash this stuff on him and create this problem, then they shoot the snot out of him.
It looks like the Liquid Terminator, man.
Yep, I think you're kind of right. So look at they shoot him up, and they're like, and then they shoot him up, and it's horrible.
Goodbye.
I can't believe they did that. This is so mean.
Just goodbye.
So now, here is the voice of conscience. So Adama's like, hey, I think we've kind of heard this before somewhere else, but let's talk about it again. So he's like, this stuff can be weaponized, is what Apollo's saying, and of course Adama's like, well, let's wait a second. And Apollo's like, well, Zach and everybody else and all these people that died and all the people on Caprica and everything else. And Adama's like, we don't want to bring about an apocalypse. We need to give them a chance. And of course Apollo's like, they deserve to die. Is that judgment you want? Gods want the gods? I love that they put that S in there. Rendering upon you when your time comes. I say, let the gods judge.
Wow.
So, Apollo is just horrible.
The mad Apollo. He's really pissed. Oh, look at Lucifer's face. Yep.
So
now he can make gestures. Look at that.
Yeah. So now we push back over to the planet, and they are, Viceroy. They're like, Abaddon, what's going on? We destroyed that, and hey, great job. And then Commander Adama appears, hey, we got an incoming message from Commander Adama. And Adama's like, hey, we have the super stuff that you tried to destroy by destroying the other base star. But we have it, and I think we need to talk about your surrender. And, of course, they're like, what? No, we're not surrendering. They're, hey, keep talking. Keep talking. So they send the raiders to the location of where the audio is coming from, and of course Adama, being the smart man, didn't send it there. So they go there and they show up at the shuttle that's being broadcasting, and he's not on it. It's just a repeat broadcast, and they say Commander's not on the shuttle, and then of course Commander's like, my answer is this: no peace, no mercy. That's coming from Abaddon, or the Luciferish type person. And then machine consciousness is prime machine civilization. It's perfect. Humanity will perish. And Adama finally says, well, shut him down. And now he's like, turns to Dr. Wilker and said, okay, weaponize it. And
boom, see ya.
The Cylons want an apocalypse. We will give it to them.
Again, an apocalypse.
And to be continued.
To be continued. Look over on the right. It says next issue.
Yep.
Look at those.
Those are good.
Wow, that's cool pictures.
That's the trade paperbacks.
Yeah. Oh,
this
wow.
This is Eric 4. So, lots of cool stuff. Highlander, zombies, Army of Darkness. It's kind of cool. Terminator Infinity.
Yeah.
And then Lone Ranger.
Hey, did any of you guys actually get this when it was out on the shelves in the comic book stores? I did not.
No.
Oh, turn it back. It has the covers for the next. Look at that.
The next issue.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that's nice. Dad, look at that. That's the one with the base star and the Cylon Raiders. That's really cool.
Yeah, I have that one too. Yeah.
I've never seen that one with Adama in the middle.
Yep, I got that one.
That's cool. Oh wow, very cool.
So those are all variant covers. I love the covers on these. I mean, although this one kind of looks funky because Boomer's just got these weird white eyes.
He's freaked out. Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, Cylons in chains. Come on.
Yeah.
You people.
Oh, stop.
But of course, the best one of them all is that one.
Okay, calm down.
That's the awesome one.
All right, calm down. Anyway. Sharp-looking comics. Yeah, Paul.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Ready? You want me to do a sneak peek? Ready?
Yeah, sneak peek. Come on. Nice. Oof.
My favorite. This is my favorite. And these are pencil.
Yes, the original pencil. So the artist sent those up to have them digitally.
They scanned them in. Yeah.
Yeah, they scanned them, and then they actually did the rest of it on computer. So all the coloring and everything else is all done on computer. So the only physical artwork that was done is what you just saw. There is no other. So we did get a couple of those, and there's a couple left on eBay. I was unfortunately thinking that that they had more, but they didn't. So if you're interested in anything like that, just go on eBay and look up artist Sanchez Galactica, and you'll find some of those. There's a couple of other things, I guess, that we should quickly touch upon, and that is that we have at least 2 conventions set up, and that's going to be, of course, Dragon Con and then New York Comic Con.
New York Comic Con. Those are both set. Working on another.
Those are both set. There is a possible other, and we also had not interviewed. We didn't get a chance to interview, but we actually will be doing an interview with the PR. I believe it's the PR director from Shore Leave. So one of the oldest, if not the oldest, fan-run convention, sci-fi convention in the United States is Shore Leave. So I think it is the oldest. I remember reading about Shore Leave back in the 80s when I used to read Starlog, and Rob Baum, you'll back me up on that, I think. And so we spoke to them. We pitched a couple of things. We can't talk about it yet, but we'll see what happens. They're coming to the show. We're going to have a spot for Shore Leave representative director will come onto the show. We'll talk all about Shore Leave. That's coming up. In a perfect world, we're going to have that done, Chris, maybe as a live event outside of Thursday so that we can get it out before the July 7th, I believe.
Yep,
they have
7th is Shore Leave, and it's not too far away from me.
And they have 2, it's in Baltimore, correct? Maryland?
It's close to there. It's in Maryland. I don't remember exactly where it is in Maryland.
At this one, at this Shore Leave, they have 2 of the actors from Aaron Douglas and I think it's Grace Park from the reimagined Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
They're also going to have Stargate, Hunt Valley, okay. Yep. 3 Stargate. One is from Stargate Universe, Brent Broward from Stargate and Farscape. And another, his co-star from there, right? His co-star from
Claudia Black.
Claudia Black. Yep.
She's almost as sexy as Athena. So
yeah, I mean, so there you go. These are all of the
and
guests.
Talk about a deal. Talk about a deal.
Oh my God.
Your ticket includes 2 autographs.
Elena Hoffman. Oh my God. Tamara Johnson from Stargate Universe. Oh my God. Crazy. She doesn't do a lot of shows. Her autographs are very hard to get. Hard to get the meters. So, yep, there he is. I almost thought he was wearing a uniform from the new Battlestar.
He is, isn't he?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, he is. Hang on, let me roll back a so. Now you got to make me look.
Yeah, go ahead, look. I'm pretty sure it's not. All right, now there's
Tom Paris.
Yep. And Robert Ricardo. Elena Hoffman. And Bonnie Prodigy. Yep. Shield of Tomorrow, Street Fighter. Oh, there's Grace Park. Oh, the rumor is...
That is from the Battlestar Galactica now.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
So what we were told was from one of the committee members that put together Shore Leave is that Grace Park is going to be taking time off from conventions. If not completely, she's going to be taking a long hiatus. So for anyone that is going to Shore Leave and you're a fan of the new Battlestar Galactica, make sure that you go see Grace Park because she is not going to be doing shows for a long while. It was implied that she might be retiring from the convention circuit. So I think that's interesting.
Claudia Black, though.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, I mean, so she came with Broward to WinterCon here in Queens, in New York, last year, and so yeah, WinterCon's small, but they get some really, really good guests. So guys, look, we had a really good time at AwesomeCon in Washington D.C. 2023. Thank you for your support. Thanks for everybody coming out, right, Chris? I mean, it was really cool. We had a lot of good
amazing
stuff going on. It was, right. Jimmy Shirts was there, and Diana Durango. Actually, Michaela was there, and she was doing an interview for cosplay.
Yep.
And we should also mention that her husband came and supported. He was there.
Back mule.
Oh yeah,
he helped move a lot of stuff.
We should thank him too for coming down, and
Kyle.
Just everybody. Yeah, Kyle. Everybody that we met at AwesomeCon. You guys stay tuned. You saw some of the pictures. We even had a Warhammer 40K Space Marine, Ultramarine from the Second Company was there. And he was one of the winners of the cosplay. When the guy was like, gigantic. He was like 10 foot tall, whatever.
It was intermediate.
Really cool.
Yeah, I think he won intermediate because he's only won two other cosplay contests.
And he looked good. Like he had set it up so that he looked proportionate, right? So he wasn't like, sometimes their arms, when they're wearing the costume, their arms look smaller than they. Now this guy had done an exceptional job. It was really well done. So thank you everybody for stopping by. Thank you for tuning in. So there'll be more next week, and Chris will be putting up other interviews.
Yeah, I'll be putting up some more this weekend as I go through them. We don't have to edit them too much because we recorded them directly into our software system, but some people didn't have their glasses on that day, and I asked them if the lower third was correct, and like, yeah, it's correct, and then called me later and said, no, that's wrong. So
okay.
I gotta go back.
So we're gonna, thank you for fixing that, Chris. But the X-Files is cool. So if you guys are fans of the X-Files, make sure you check out the retrospect that's out there, and we put up the interview. Love your con coverage. Thank you, Sean. Please tune in to Battlestar Bulletin Board. Sean has gone out of his way to actually bring us a lot of the great Battlestar articles from back in the day in the magazines that today is very difficult to try to find those articles anywhere. And so he's sharing that with everybody, with the general public. So thank you for doing that, Sean. I do catch myself a lot of times going back and reading them on your posts. Mediocre Modeler, congratulations to your victories, right? Three medals for 3 of your projects that you put into the convention in your neck of the woods. And congrats. Well done. Well deserved. Your work is great. So guys, please watch that and support everyone else that's out there, including the Empire City Garrison and their charities, as well as the Starfleet Association and Brand, USS Tiburon. They have charity as well. So please support. I know that
I'll be some tribbles.
And I'll be getting some tribbles. So when I do and I get them, I'll be bringing them on air. So everybody else, hopefully you guys can support as best you can. And Stranded Warrior, it's moving.
Yep. Little by little. We're getting there.
We're getting there.
So also, if you haven't done so, there are a ton of you out there that are our normal watchers, and we know who you are, that I still have listed as invited to Interfleet Broadcasting instead of following. So we sure would like to move that following number up past 7,000. So if you want to go back and get done here, go back and look and make sure you
please
check the box at the top that says, hey, I'm following. That would be awesome. So
it's very helpful, guys.
You may think you are following now, but a lot of you, believe it or not, are not. I don't know how that thing works, but sometimes you go back through and go, wow, I thought that I was following them. And look for that box at the top and give us a like and a follow. It'd be awesome, amazing. So, and that goes for all of our social media platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Twingo, I don't know, whatever else we're on.
Spotify. We have we
Spotify,
do podcasting on Spotify.
Yeah, we will be doing.
And
I don't think we have a
so
page
we're working,
on Spotify yet, but
we're working with Sci-Fiction. Owen Cotter, good friend of ours, fellow colleague. We're going to be doing a show with him soon. We've been, coordinating, so stay tuned for
the planets haven't aligned on that one yet. We're working on it.
But we're working on it.
We're getting there.
So thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Is Lola one of those? Is she?
Well, I don't know. I have to go back and look. So
yeah, we'll take a look, guys. But please take a look, and we appreciate
I know Sean
everybody helping out. All right. Well,
I don't want to call anybody out, Sean. Never, just kidding.
Oh boy, you guys are the best. We love our community. You guys, man, you guys rock. So you make all the difference. Thank you for everything.
Keep fueling the fleet, and thank you so much. We will roll back around again next week at this time. Check us out, and between now and then, we'll post up some new videos from the Awesome Con, and check those out too. So anyways, fans fuel the fleet. Thank you for showing up.
Thanks, guys.